Well, hi everybody. Welcome to Running True. This is episode 8, I believe. It's been a little bit of time between our last two episodes because I've been really busy, and I'll talk a little bit about that. But I did throw in my bonus episode of how to make sauerkraut. So if you want to make some sauerkraut on this day, today's Sunday, go ahead, go for it. Make some sauerkraut. Watch my video. Don't watch my video. Make sauerkraut on your own. You can do it. Okay, so here we go. Here's where we are. I've got actually weeks 7 and 8 complete. And you can see I had to do 32 miles this last week. And I actually did 32.5. And it was really hard. My legs, running home from work the other day, my legs were really shot. I mean, they felt really bad. So today I'm gonna do 10 miles. After I get done with this and post this online, I'll be doing a 10-mile run. And this week, I think I've got to do 34 miles, I believe, on there. 34 miles. So what I'm planning on doing last week, I did a 15-mile run, and the week before that I did a 13.5-mile run to get my mileage up. But this week, I think I'm going to do, instead of having like one long run, I'm going to do 2 longer runs. So this will be one of them today, 10 miles today, maybe like a 10 or 11 mile one later in the week, and then do some shorter runs. Running to work's about 3 miles. I can extend it to 5 miles on the way back. So that I'll be right in there. I think it might be a little bit easier on my legs. And also I'm going to work on my speed work this time because I've not been able to get my speed up at all. My speed's been about, like 12-minute miles. When I did that 15-mile run the other day, it actually took me 3 hours to run 15 miles, which is just crazy, crazy slow. Granted, there's a lot of slipperiness and a lot of ice that I have to contend with, but still that's pretty slow. Today, it looks like you can kind of see out there a little bit. It's really wet. I know there'll be a few icy spots, but I think I can get by without wearing my spikes for my 10-mile run today. Having a little bit of right knee pain, not debilitating, but just kind of nagging pain. So you can see we're progressing towards race day. Right there's going to be race day. That's really like the only thing going on. So that's where we are on that. Boom. And let's see what else I want to talk about. So I was going to talk a little bit about preparation. Of course, it's easier for me to run if I have a goal to prepare for, and of course that's kind of what I'm doing right now. It'd be hard to just go out and run to say I want to eventually get to like a 55-mile week without any kind of competition in there for me, because I like to compete occasionally in some areas of life. I found this last couple weeks, actually 11 days since we did it last, that I've been preparing in some other ways too, and this is more about the transgender stuff. I went to a clinic that was run by Dr. Gore. My doctor's a great doctor, but he's not really up on a whole lot of transgender stuff, and he's learning, which is great. But I kind of went to this clinic basically to see what I'm missing in my treatment stuff, and then also to maybe bridge a gap between my doctor and Dr. Gore, who's really knowledgeable on the transgender stuff. And there's actually like a working group of people. So that's preparing for stuff in the future. I went down to Moscow, Idaho to go see Dr. Stiller, who's a surgeon down there, and he does all sorts of aspects of surgery, from the facialization stuff, which my face has changed a lot, but might be something I need in the future, to actually the gender confirmation surgery itself. He's one of the few people that do the surgery in the United States, and just happens to be down in Moscow, Idaho. And met with people there, really nice group, and that could be something that's in the future, but it's like all preparation. And I think that's kind of, in a way, maybe how I've lived my life, preparing for things, whether it's tests, whether it's new employment opportunities, getting this card punched for different things. So it to me is interesting that kind of continues into into this transitional phase of my gender. So that has been pretty cool to just kind of seek information. And I've always been a great information seeker. My kids were really frustrated because, among other things, I learned how to sail, basically. Well, I sailed when I was a kid, but I really got up on like new sailboats and what's the techniques, and I read up on stuff, and I did a lot of sailboat shopping and became an expert on sailboats and all things sailing, and then kind of felt like that's good enough. That's kind of part of why I wanted to do this, was to learn about it. And maybe someday I'll pull the trigger and have like a little used sailboat. Maybe Sarah and I will go vacation on someplace, or probably not, because a big part of this is the preparation. I like preparing. I'm not a doomsday prepper. I could be, but I'm not. So anyways, I just think maybe it's a tenuous tie to tie this to my running prep, but hey, I'm trying to put together a show here. One other thing that's going on is we've got Sarah and I there's going to be a newspaper article about us coming up in the future, probably mid-February, they said. So a lot of time has been devoted to meeting with photographers and reporter and things like that. And actually, it's been really good. And we hung out with a photographer, nice person, like almost all day yesterday. And it was pretty fun, but it kind of turned more into like just a fun time. So anyways, that's been going on. So that's been taking up a big chunk. I was going to get this actually on the air yesterday, but then we had all this time with the photographer, and like I said, don't regret it. It was a good time. I'm still gaining some weight, probably a little bit of weight, still muscle mass, I hope. But it's weird to run more and then not really see it reflected on the scales, but that's just how it is. I'm gonna work on my speed work, like I said, and one way I'm gonna work on my speed work is by running Fartleks. I don't know if you've heard of that. It's basically that when you run, you would run maybe like a mile as hard as you can, and then pull it back, and then you run like, you do these sprints within your long run. And I found this to be very effective for me, because what will happen is I'm going to run to the end of this block, and I wind up doing the run. I start doing like maybe 5.5, 6 minute miles as I'm sprinting to the end of the block, and then I'm done and I'm tired, and I'll pull it back. Well, when I pull it back, I'm actually running faster than what I was running before I started. And a lot of this is training your body to be used to something. And there's an analogy there too, I'm sure. But the big thing of this is just to get your body used to feeling what it feels like to be running a little bit faster and a little bit faster and a little bit faster. So I'll be doing that today when I go out and do this 10-mile run. And it's going to be a good day to do it because it won't be that slippery. So I was thinking about flattening out my curve on that run a little bit, because really, according to the plans I read, I'm a little bit ahead. I'm a little bit too much mileage this early in the game. Well, not too much, but they also have you doing big advances, like you run a 30-mile week and you run a 35-mile week the next week. And I like the 10% advances. 10% advances in the long runs, 10% advances in the overall runs. I think that keeps you a lot healthier and a lot easier injury-wise, for sure. So that's kind of it for today. Kind of a little haphazard, thrown together thing. But I hope it comes through that I've been busy, but it's all been really good, busy stuff. Work's been busy. I had to go do a certification course at work for a new way we were talking on the radios. So that's taken up some time at work. And of course, all the other things that need to get done kind of start piling up. So anyway, so it's been busy. Running, as always, keeps me happy and healthy and gives me a sense of accomplishment every day. So thank you very much for tuning in, and I hope you're running true, whether it's really running or whatever you like doing. I hope you're true to yourself, true to everybody around you, and thanks so much for watching. Until next time, right at 10 minutes now.